Hey, this is my learning management system that I'm creating my unit on, and I've never used anything like this before, but I'm really glad that this is an assignment because I feel like I use a lot of tech stuff, but my kids are going to every different site, and there's not one thing that they can use. And I'm really glad that you can take quizzes and everything on here, and there's grade books and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to dig a little deeper in this. But the first thing, as you can see, is the assignment that we did last week. It was the icebreaker, so I added that. It's two truths and one lie. So when they click on it, it gives them all the directions, and then so they'll click on it, they'll click, and it'll go to the Padlet, and it'll give our example and that you commented on. And so then if we go back to our activity for this unit, PEMDAS is in the order of operations is a standard that fifth graders have never seen before, so they don't have any background knowledge on it. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm teaching this unit is they have to know the order before they can even apply it. So this activity or this lesson, so to say, is about learning the order of the operations. So as you can see, I have my standards listed here, and then I have my learning target just for this one lesson. And my learning target is I can create an acronym to remember the order of operations. So if you click on this, this is a PEMDAS task, and I will say I found this PEMDAS task on a different site, but I definitely tweaked it a little bit so I could use it in my classroom. But they can read the directions and everything. It kind of gives them an overview of what they're all doing. And at the end, they're going to have to create their own mnemonic and illustrate it on Microsoft Word. So just kind of an overview, but then here are the steps that they're going to have to take. So all the directions that they are. So the question is, what is the order of operations? So they're first going to have a handout. And I uploaded my handout. It's right here for the students, but I'll give this to the students, and my handout looks like this. So they're definitely got to view this. This is kind of their guided notes to this lesson as well. But this is what they're going to have to fill in and answer these questions as we go. So the first thing is they're going to have to go to this site, and they're going to have to answer questions 1 through 4 on their handout. So this goes to the Math is Fun site, and this is all about the order of operations in PEMDAS. So it explains to them what they do first. So the first thing we do is parentheses, then we do exponents, and it kind of explains what an exponent is. Then we do multiply or divide, and then add and subtract, and it gives them P stands for parentheses, and so they're going to have to take the notes that are on this. So, like for example, it says list the 5 operations. They're going to have to list it. Then it says what is the order of operations. The first is P, so they'll have to put parentheses and so on. And then they're going to have to answer this important question. And then it goes down to an acronym. So it explains what an acronym, and then it says that an acronym is an abbreviation. So does the US use to help you remember the order of operations? So then on this site down here, it says you can remember by saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So it's definitely a web quest in a way that they have to figure out the acronym and answer those questions. So then after they answer those 4 questions on their handout, they'll go back to the zoology or the look at question. I'm sorry, I have too many things pulled up. They'll look at question number 5, and it says Wikipedia's directions. So then if they go back to their zoology account, it will say, go to Wikipedia and look up the order of operations. So they'll click on that, and then they will search the order of operations. And then I definitely gave them, they know that they need to read everything because it says, then go to the Wikipedia, look up order of operations, answer questions 5 to 6, look for the mnemonics heading to help you answer the question. So then when they're on Wikipedia and they click that, well, then they can see, oh, well, there's mnemonics, so they can scroll down. And then they're going to have to answer questions that are about this. And these questions are comparing how we use PEMDAS and how other countries use BIMDAS or use other different forms. And they're going to have to compare and contrast, well, what does the B really mean? Does it change anything if we say B is the brackets instead of parentheses? And that kind of stuff. So then they're going to have to answer questions 5 through 6. And then question 7 is when they're going to have to create their own. So on their handout, it says, and on zoology, it says, PEMDAS is sometimes expressed as a mnemonic, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Or, gives them another example, Pandas Express makes delicious avocado soup. Or, please excuse my deadly angry samurai. So after they view those, they're going to have to create their own. So then they're going to have to go back to our zoology page, and it gives them the directions over here as well. And they're going to have to upload that to the discussion portion. So here is the discussion portion of the zoology account. And I actually already made mine, so if they wanted to view mine, they could. So I just did an acronym on the regular one that we all use. So it says, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So that is an example for them to look at if they wanted to use. But that's definitely an activity that I would use for our learning activity. Now, there will be more obviously to this student because I have to go into teaching them how to evaluate expressions using the order of operations, but that is the first lesson because I feel like that they need to grasp the concept of what the order is before they can apply it. So that's my learning activity for